Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on north spawn of Steppes, and it's under the command of talon1958 of OLIMP, and it's part of his weekly contest with Angelina. He's got the improved rammer, improved vents, and improved gun laying drive with vent purge. Game on! It's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it, so he's going to see a variety of enemy vehicles, and he's middle tier, which means that he will get some boost to his XP figures, but not a huge amount. And if he hits anything that's slightly less, well, say a tier 8, then he'll only get the standard. Looking towards the corner. Enemy tanks are on their way this way, and in fact they're rushing as fast as they can. In fact, it's 3 heavy tanks making their way up, and that will have stunned some of them, I think, but not all of them. But I should think that that column of tanks is probably going to halt when they see the Cobra. In fact, there's an Object 780 fairly close now, but I think he's gone too far, and he might find himself in a lot of trouble very shortly. Now, Talon's decided to go back behind the railway line because the enemy's just a little too close, and he does want to stay alive, and the only way to do that will be to actually go down the other side of the map. So he's actually going right the way over to the one column, and he might stick behind the railway lines over that side because the enemy doesn't appear to have gone out the west side at all. That's probably why those 3 heavies were rushing the east side of the map, hoping that they can make an impression. Well, it looks like our M40, M43 is already firing on those guys because one of his shells impacted that area. And Talon's now aiming for that area as well. Okay, so he's lining up the shot, rounds out. Gets a direct hit on the 780 for 390. He's still stunned. So I think we're going to get some stun assists here. In fact, we've already picked up some. Unfortunately, the 780 has managed to get in there quite deep, and he killed the 63, Type 63. And you can see that there are masses of enemy forces over there. So our guys down on the west side of the map are now going to have to move as fast as they can. Talon selecting the Forest Spirit. No armor. Easy kill. Rounds out. Unfortunately, it fell short, well short of the target, and as a consequence he didn't get the kill he was expecting, because of course that would have been a penetrating shot if it actually hit the Forest Spirit. But there's so many tanks there, he's actually now relocating even further down the west side. Now he can't go too far, because if he does, there's a chance that the enemy on this side of the map might see him as well. Okay, he just saw the Scorpion, rounds out. That's a direct hit. Oh, and it knocked both trees down. That's when it happened, and I reckon he penetrated that Scorpion. Direct hit. The Scorpion is basically a Panther 2, but it doesn't have very thick armor. And as a consequence of that, I think he actually did pen and may have actually got about 900 hit points of damage. Okay, there we can see them. We can see the Forest Spirit's lost a few hit points, but he didn't get a penetrating shot off that guy. Fires in at the Leopard. That would have splashed the Forest Spirit as well if he was still there. So we can see that the enemy has captured that corner. If he'd stayed in that area, he would have been wiped out for sure. So he made the right move coming over here to continue the fight. And we're only 1 tank down on the enemy, so they do have position. But we're looking at the Forest Spirit now, and he's almost loaded. So this guy is going to be the next one to suffer. He fired where he was. He was hoping the short distance would be covered really quickly. Well, look, we've got a 780, and that's the same one, I think, who led the charge. Or is it? No, it's not. It's a different one. They've got more than one. The other 780 was killed, but this guy is going to die very shortly. He's on fire, and he goes down. There's the Forest Spirit again. He's appeared. We're loaded, and this time round he dies. Gets a direct hit. It goes right through him, and he's out the game. And now things starting to change because we're 4 up on the enemy. They've got 1 AFK in the cap area. I think we'd be better off going after the Cobra Bee. He's dead. He's gone. So we might as well just hit that lure whilst our teammates actually find the enemy Arty. Okay, there's the lure. Dialing in to make sure it's accurate. Direct hit. 431. Oh, he's taking some punishment. We're getting stun assist off that as well. We've got the communications expert working, and the lure is no more. That means there's only 3 left. One of them actually came over this side. There he is. That means the other ones are probably over in the corner where we haven't been yet. More than likely we'll see the tracer coming out from this area. There he is. Rounds out straight away. And he's goner. That's the second kill for Talon. Sorry. Yes, he got the Forest Spirit, didn't he? And that means there's only 1 left. And that's the Scorpion, and the one that we hit. And he's been located in the south, and he's also been killed. And that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a second-class tanker for talon1958 in the M53, M55. So definite improvement. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he got 9. And his win rate on this game was a lot better. 2,834, which is Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he was. Well, he did do hit points of damage in this one. He didn't get so much in the last one. But the high scorer was the VK7201K on our team. He got the steel wall and 3,414 hit points of damage. Second highest was the Wizzy1201 GFT, who got 3,002. And that guy got a Lownan's medal for being a tank destroyer and killing at least 1 tank or I think is it tank and or tank destroyer. So look, trying to remember Halonans. There it is. It's killing 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers in a tank destroyer, and they have to be at least 2 tier higher than the previous battle, than the his tier. So they have to be much higher tier. He was tier 8 and he was killing tier 10s, so he obviously got 2 tier 10 targets and wiped them out. The third highest damage in the game turned out to be the Object 705 on our team, who managed 2,526. And there we can see Talon, but Talon's actually in 5th place because he was beaten by the Object 780, or at least one of them on the enemy team. Both Object 780s on the enemy team did very well. In fact, one of them got the cool-headed, and their Cobra got a cool-headed, their SD1 got a cool-headed, and their Death Star got a cool-headed as well. So lots of cool-headeds on the enemy team, but they didn't win the game. Talon, yes, 2,355, 5th place. When it came to kills, we can see he's a bit further up the table because the top scorer is the VK7201K, 4 kills to him, and 4 kills to the 780 on the enemy team. 3 kills went to the Wizzy1201 GFT on our team in 2nd place. And in 3rd place, we've got Talon with 2 kills. Only 4 players on the enemy team actually managed to get kills in that game, and only one of them actually managed to get more than 1 kill. So very well done for Talon for getting 2 kills. When it came to base XP, it was the Wizzy120, yes, because he's low tier, because he's tier 8. He was actually hitting tier 9 and tier 10 opponents and getting 10% extra from each of those extra tiers. So he was getting 10% extra for hitting every tier 9 and 20% extra XP for hitting the tier 10s. And so that's why he ended up with much more XP, even though it was only around about the same, well, a bit more damage on the enemy. So he got 1,258, and he's the only player to get over 1,000 base. 990 went to the VK7201K, and 807 went to Talon in third place. He fired only 9 shots in that game. It's a fairly fast battle, actually. 6 minutes, 23 seconds. 5 direct hits, 2 penetrating shots. Well, again, you should expect that because he did actually get some juicy shots on lightly armored tanks. Of course, he hit the M53, M55, went straight through him. And of course, he penetrated the forest. It went right through and probably came out the other side. The Scorpion, he didn't penetrate, but he did do 424 hit points. So it was a substantial hit on his tank. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 2, so no chance of getting a Confederate, I'm afraid. 628 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns. So he did get the communications expert working. On a premium count, he actually made 18,290 credits profit, but he didn't get any bonus or anything. But when it came to XP, he got 4,843, and he did get a bonus for completing a mission. 2,422 for that bonus, so that's nice. So, Talon makes an improvement over his previous game. Well, not hard to do that, actually, because he was actually just splashing people to death on the other one. So he didn't get a lot of damage, but this one he did, and he was getting good shots. So, let's have a look and see if Angelina managed to beat him for this week's line, or rather, I should say, the week before last line, because there wasn't one this week. We'll find out in the next replay. In the second replay, Angelina75 has actually switched to the M53, M55. She's got the bounty, rammer, gun lane drive, and improved vents. Game on. Yes, this river is fairly deep in some quarters. I remember when we first tried it out, I thought was Wargaming trying to drown us. I think everyone was so fascinated with that little fighter aircraft being shot down, they didn't take into account the fact that the water was fairly deep and they were in up to their necks. Okay, well, we're ready to go. Angelina's set up. And the first enemy is in sight. But unfortunately, from this angle, it's not an easy shot. In fact, it's very difficult. But she can land the shell next to the target. Rounds out. And she does, actually. 64 hit points of damage. Changing position again. Looks like the enemy Arty is also trying to get our heavies on that corner. There's 2 Artys on either team. It's a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks. The enemy team has got a GWE 900, and so is our team. But their tier 9 Arty is a Batchat 155-55. That landed just behind the enemy. Unfortunately, didn't get any stun or damage. She's got a nice shot there on the Doom Turtle, who's just fired, so he's now defenseless. And rounds out. 355 hit points from Michelle right in his face. And she's backed up the slope. Now the vehicle is pointing downwards, which should actually, in theory, decrease the range. But I don't think it will really matter if she's actually firing on these targets which aren't that far away. If she was firing up the other end of the map, then yes, I would say probably need to change your position. But okay, there was somebody there, but there he is. He is still there. And now he takes it in the side for 321. And he splashed the Batchat 25 times at the same time. So that shell really did work out. And our guys are starting to move up the west side of the map. So it's forcing the Batchat 25 ton to retreat. And, well, that Wizzy he's probably not going to survive very long. In fact, the back chap probably won't survive very long because he's taking fire like nobody's business. And we're almost loaded. And he didn't make it. He didn't get back. And the enemy Arty's just been spotted, or at least one of them has. And he's already starting to take damage. Angelina's fully dialed in. Rounds out. And that was a direct hit, but it hit the front of the vehicle, where, of course, it's the engine deck. And it didn't penetrate, but it did get substantial stun. And, of course, he did go down. So Angelina picked up the rest. A stun assist. Now, it looks like she's going to be firing on a Griffin, one of the new British tanks. Right through the gap. Rounds out. Oh, it hit a building. It must have just unluckily hit the top of the building. She didn't have a red line, so it should have gone through. But maybe the rescue was partially obscured when she fired. Okay. Okay, we can get this object treble 7-2. Hiding in this corner. If he pokes out, and he is taking fire already. Rounds out. Direct hit on his front plate for 231. Now, we're just having a quick look over here because we think there's a Gorilla 15. Oh, and Angelina's now got her communications expert working. And potentially she's got a Confederate, but it's not definite yet because, of course, if one of our teammates actually managed to score a better result, then he would take it away from her. Seen that happen often enough. So we're looking for where that gorilla might be. She's hoping the Kampfpanzer dry. Oh, there he is. He's actually in the bushes. But he's just taken 2 big hits, or 3 big hits, and he's out the game. So there's only 4 enemies remaining. This looks like this game is a goner for the enemy, and we might as well move closer. While she's reloading, she might as well. Enemy tank spotted. The Leopard Prototype A. Okay, he's kind of stuck on that corner there. And that was a direct hit. Only 3 enemies remaining. One of them's a Heshbon. So that's promising. We might actually be able to get a penetrating shot and kill if we can find him. The Leopard Prototype goes down. We're looking for the Heshbon. There's the G-Saw. So she's loaded, lining up the shot, rounds out, and... oh, wipeout! Direct hit. He's gone. And that means that it must be the FV4005. The Heshbon is somewhere in this vicinity. He hasn't been spotted by anyone, and our Griffin is getting very close. We just need to reload. He's probably hiding behind the house. Or that or in the trees. There he is. Oh, look at the fire he's taking. We can't get our shell out in time. It's all over. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a second-class tanker for Angelina75 of OLIMP in the M53 M55. She managed to get a Bruiser medal, but getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 6 in this one. And she also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on her team. Her win rate was 1,891, which wasn't as high as the previous time, and not as high as Talon, but it was certainly very good. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see in this game, the Griffin managed to get the highest damage, 5,316. Second highest damage went to the Heshbon on the enemy team with 4,509, so he was getting damage on the enemy. And third was actually the 60 TP with 4,308 hit points of damage. We can see that Angelina got 1,777 hit points of damage, and she was beaten by 5 of the enemy team and 6 of her own team, which means that she's actually in 12th place when it comes to damage. When it came to kills, though, we can see top scorer is the Wizzy113 GFT. He got 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Centurion Action 10, and that guy got a Pascucci's medal, and also to the Heshbon on the enemy team. And 2 kills went to the Griffin, the 60 TP, and the Type 61, and that guy got a Levislayu's medal. But Angelina is in 4th place when it comes to kills with just the 1, but she did get the Confederate. Only 4 players on the enemy team managed to get kills, and only 1 of them got more than 1. When it came to base XP, we can see top scorers were the Type 61, again, that Levislayu's medal. 1002 went to the Griffin. Those are the only 2 who managed to get over 1000 base, with the 60 TP getting 869 in 3rd place, and we can see Angelina getting 801, so not so far away from that 60 TP. Angelina only fired 10 shells in this game, 5 direct hits on the enemy, but none of them penetrated at all, and she got 1,777 hit points of damage. She's managed to get 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 1 kill, so there's the Confederate, it's a difference of 7, and she got 916 hit points of stun assist off 7 stuns. On a free-to-play account, Angelina made 58,081 credits profit from the game, including 55,000 for a mission completion. And she also took away 4,005 experience points exactly on a ×5 day. So how does this work? I think my luck has changed, she says. Well, I think so as well, because in actual fact, we know from the previous replay that Talon managed to get 2nd class and a bruiser, but didn't get any medals. But he got a high win 8. Angelina, on the other hand, got a 2nd class, a bruiser, but she also got a Confederate. And in the counting, this was matching Talon's, but that is higher than Talon. And therefore, obviously, Angelina's won. Even though her win 8 was less than Talon's, she scored a better game and she got a medal. So Angelina won the competition for that week. After 4 replays submitted, she had the winning replay. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. And of course, a new contest will start this week on Monday. So we'll expect to see some more interesting battles. Thanks for watching.